Welcome to Anna's Nail Advice, a series where you guys send me pictures of your nails and I try to figure out what's going on with your nails and give you advice how to make them better. I'm going to try to do these videos maybe weekly, time allowing, but if you want to guarantee my response, I do have a paid service, so you can definitely check it out. So this person sent me an email just recently and she says, since I was young, I've had a bad habit of biting my nails, and recently I've tried to grow them out and take care of them. However, I don't think it's working well. So she has a problem that she describes that she has a new nail layer growing and she doesn't know what it is. So a few weeks ago, I tried to give myself a manicure and cleaned up my nails, and I don't know, as I was doing them, I felt kind of burning sting on my nails. Since then, my nails were quite red, I think from the intense pressure damage. And for some reason, I don't know exactly what it is, but my nails have seemed to grow or have a new nail layer growing. I'm not sure if that's what it is or if it's something else. I would really appreciate if you can give me some advice on helping healing my nails and how to make them stronger and shape them. My nails have been one of my insecurities, and I hope you can help me to diagnose the problem and help me to fix it. Okay, let me just kind of break it down very quickly and describe what's going on. So I'm going to let you know exactly what to do to help these nails, and also going to tell you what not to do, absolutely not to do in this case, because it's going to make things worse and possibly give you allergic reaction. And truly, you cannot heal the nails because the nail plate, as we see it here, is dead. So this is dead nail plate that has been formed here in the matrix area, in the root area. So the part that you see is dead. So you cannot heal anything that's dead, but definitely you can condition it and you can improve the appearance. Going back to the email. So first thing that I see is that she describes when she was doing her manicure, she felt some kind of burning or stinging. So this happened because she was probably putting way too much pressure on the nail plate, and she removed a lot of the nail plate. This is a normal nail growing, and this is damaged area. So when the nail is growing, it has so many layers. So in the matrix area, the nail has formed, let's just say 100 layers, okay? So it has formed 100 layers, and those layers are not growing from underneath. They are growing from the root area. So they're growing from this area. They're not going from underneath. They're not growing from the nail bed. So when someone removes the top layer of the nail, the nail is not going to reproduce itself from the bottom up. So it's just going to keep growing with that chunk missing, really. So it's kind of similar to hair. When you color your hair, and unfortunately, if the hair gets damaged, you will have that damage and it will move, it will grow out. So this is what's happening with these nails. There is a chunk missing, so probably I would say like half the nail plate is gone. So this probably happened about a month ago, where she filed these nails. Files don't belong on a nail plate. I barely even use a buffer on the nail plate, and that is just usually usually the buffers are used to improve adhesion, but you have to do it very carefully and you have to do it very lightly, and you have to do it with the right buffer. And when you see me using buffer, I barely put any pressure. So probably what she did, she filed these nails with a file, trying to smooth them out, I guess, right? So unfortunately, like I mentioned, this cannot be repaired. And no matter what the marketing companies, the nail companies are telling you, this cannot be repaired. So the only thing that I would recommend is something very gentle, like warm oil soaks, which are actually very effective. So they're not going to regrow the layers of your nails, but they're going to make this area a little bit more resilient to further damage. They're going to add a little bit of flexibility, and they're going to just help the nails. They're going to condition the nail. Think of it as, you know, if you have a wooden table and it's not treated, and if you put oil, it helps to repel some of the moisture. It just helps repel staining, and it conditions, adds flexibility, conditions the nail, but it's not going to regrow the layers, because it's a dead it's a dead chunk of wood, and the nail plate unfortunately is dead. What I would not do, and what a lot of people do, is they start using some type of hardness, thinking that they're going to repair the nail. They use something on this area. The problem is that this area now, this part of the nail is very thin. And the top layer of the nail is usually quite resistant to damage, resistant to irritants and even breaks and tears. So once this layer is gone and you have the bottom layers exposed, I would just be afraid that if you put something that is irritating to the skin, when you put it on the nail, it's going to penetrate through these very thin areas of the nail and actually hit the nail bed underneath and affect it. So the products that are not designed for skin contact, I would not be using on such thin nails. It's just too risky. It's better to wait, and if you feel that your nails are still too flexible but they're healthy, they're back, all the layers has grown out, then maybe you can use some type of a treatment, like a hardening treatment, to help to harden the nails if the nails are still too flexible. At this point, absolutely not. So let's just look at the other pictures that she sent me. Okay, can you see here? There is, and it looks like it has been done twice, or maybe she just filed one area and then moved up the nail a little bit at the same time. So let me describe here what's going on. So this is really overfiled, or it could be like a little dent. It happens very often with the thumbs when people are picking the thumbs a little bit. So this is a healthy growth. You know, this is actually probably a cuticle. This is for sure. Let me just move this. Okay, and this is why I need very good quality pictures, because then I can zoom in and I can really show you what's going on. So this is part of the skin fold here. All you can do is just very gently with a tool, it should never hurt, just nudge it back. And you can do it dry, you can do it whatever, it doesn't matter, because you have to do it very gently. And in this case, it looks like the skin is nice and healthy. It's not super stuck, it's not very dry, there was nothing bad going on. So you can just nudge it gently, and this is not going to really change how the skin fold is. It's just going to move it back to its natural position. So looking at this picture, you can see that the skin around the nails is a little callous, probably from a bit of a chewing or biting. It is a little bit stuck. On this nail, I can see that it's a little bit stuck. So what I would also add to this person's routine is a very gentle exfoliant like Carousel, for example. So Carousel has salicylic acid, has 5% of salicylic acid, which is anti-inflammatory, and it's also exfoliating. It has urea, which is slightly exfoliating, also very moisturizing, and it also has glycerin. It's a very good product. You use it in such a small amount on just around the nails. After, I would say, maybe a week or two, you're gonna notice that the skin is much more elastic and you can nudge it back much easier. If you feel that you don't know what to nudge, just keep applying the cream every night, and eventually the skin is just going to start looking better, and it's going to give you a more clear picture of what needs to be nudged back. So here you can nudge back this area, and I'm not telling you to separate it all the way down here. It's just to nudge it back, just to kind of tell the skin, hey, you know, move back a little bit, and you're gonna train your skin over time. With this finger, yes, it's a little bit difficult to tell what it is, what's what. And so this is a cuticle, so don't worry about the cuticle too much. Once the skin is healthy and the skin fold is trained to sit nicely and healthy around the nail, then you can worry about the cuticle. For now, I would not worry about the cuticle. I would just try nudging back the skin. I would shorten the nails to this length, making sure that they're all consistent. And this shape is pretty good. You can actually round them off a little bit because you have like a naturally round shape to your nails. So just follow the shape of the nail bed. When you're taking pictures for these videos, it is really important to take the picture against white background. And I'll give you a link on actually the link with the paid NS Nail Advice is going to explain to you how to take pictures, because when they are taken in a lower light, then the fuzziness happens. Even though you're taking the picture correctly, if the light isn't correct, this is what's going to happen. And then when I try to zoom in, I can't really see what's going on. I mean, I can see what's going on, but especially when I'm trying to make a video and explain, then it might be confusing to you what I'm trying to say. Okay, here I found a better photo. So I can quickly let you know what I see here. Okay, so skin fold is right here. This is cuticle. You see the white stuff here? This is a cuticle. So when you're nudging, don't really nudge the cuticle. try nudging just the skin back. So as you can see here, and you can see there is little ridges here, and this is absolutely normal. Nails have a texture, and the texture is very normal. Here you see very shiny surface and more red, right? So this is very damaged, and this is even more damaged. Here you see again a lot of damage, like a big step where the nail is missing. This is here a healthy nail growth. This is a skin fold, and this is a cuticle. Again, when you're using the carousel, the cuticle is going to slough off much easier. Cuticle is basically dead skin cells that are sitting in between the skin fold and the nail plate. And the role of the cuticle is to keep the skin and the nail together. So once it's past that fold, it doesn't serve us any purpose. It doesn't help us anything. So you can gently remove it. But that's going to be the next step. Once the nails are a little bit more healthy, once the skin around the nails is healthy, that would be the next step. I actually have a video, like a 2 series, how to start taking care of your nails. And that one is very good, and I'm going to include that one in the links below. Now, this little part I would just snip because this is going to tear. I would make sure that the ends are always nice and smooth because it's going to catch and tear even further. Make sure that this is snipped. I would just snip it like this and just round this corner off as well. This little piece I would snip as well and shorten the nail, and you can see that there is like a big step here. You can see healthy nail growth. You can see nice skin fold. This is absolutely normal. So a lot of people are wondering why the skin fold, like why is this so different looking? So this is done on purpose. So this is not a cuticle, because many times people think that this part is a cuticle and I don't know, this is, I guess, a skin fold. No, this whole area is a skin fold, but the front area of the skin fold, it just naturally has more keratins. It's a little bit tougher to protect the front of the fold. So it's absolutely normal to have that. And then if you take care of that skin, if you nudge it very gently, if you put creams, if you are very gentle with your hands, that skin is just going to be very soft and barely visible. But if that skin is dry and not cared for, it's going to really stick to the nail. And as the nail is growing, it's going to pull that skin with it. And if it's dry, it's going to start tearing and it's just causing a whole bunch of pain and discomfort, and it's just not going to look pretty. So if you want the skin looking very pretty, then just nudge it gently back and put creams. I know I'm repeating myself, but this is really important. And again, you can see the cuticle here. If I can zoom in, you can see healthy nail growth here because I can see the ridges, which are absolutely normal texture. I can see a big dip here, which means a lot of damage. I would say like half the nail is gone. My goodness, poor nail. And this is cuticle. So the cuticle, dead skin cells that came from underneath the skin fold are peeking through. So eventually you can remove them and gently without damaging the nail underneath. And step by step is shown in that playlist, how to start taking care of your nails. To wrap things up, I would first shorten the nails, shape them, and I would not be clipping other than just maybe this nail. Shorten the nails, smooth the ends with the buffer. Do not use the buffer on top, just smooth the nails with a buffer to bevel the free edge so it's not as sharp. Start using carousel at night, and when the skin allows you, start nudging the skin. And also the usual that I always recommend, just a drop of oil after each hand wash or just pass of the salve that I sell, and a little bit of lotion, and try to do it as often as you can after washing your hands, because we're washing off all the protective oils from our skin, so you want to replenish that. Eventually, over time, the skin is going to improve and the skin fold is going to sit nicely and the nails are going to grow out. So in this case, very often what people do is they do everything right for a week or 2 or 3 weeks and they're like, oh, the nails are still a mess. Yes, they're going to be a mess until the healthy nail grows out. So this is going to probably take another 2-3 months. Think of it as, again, if you bleach your hair and you fry your hair, it just has to grow out. So it doesn't matter how much you care for your hair, it's still going to be there. Because at least with hair, you can cut it really, really short. The nails, you can't just, remove most of the nail that is damaged. So you just have to have patience. And sometimes for some people, it just depends on how fast the nails are glowing. It can take up to like 6 to 7 months to regrow a nail. Another thing that I would recommend is the warm oil soaks. Please use just pure jojoba. I know that the The video talks about different oils, but I just want to keep it simple. Also, jojoba is not really an oil. So I get a lot of questions, people asking, oh, how about coconut oil? How about sunflower oil? How about castor oil? Castor oil, no, for sure, because it's not absorbing. Jojoba is a liquid wax. It works in a slightly different way. I would definitely recommend jojoba. Also, jojoba does not go rancid very quickly. It's very heat stable, so you can warm it up and you can use it a few times, obviously, if you keep it clean. And this is what I recommend weekly. Warm oil soaks. How long do you soak? I would say 5 to 7 minutes until the oil kind of cools off. Then you can just change the water underneath and then put the oil in the hot water and then just use it for your other hand. I do not recommend, absolutely, I do not recommend microwaving the oil because it can be too hot. And the way I show it, basically with the hot water underneath, is that hot water underneath keeps the oil in a proper temperature. I do not recommend wearing gloves for this purpose because your skin might sweat and it just doesn't make sense. Another thing in this case, what I would recommend, there are 2 products that I would recommend. Of course, you don't have to use them both. Actually, probably maybe 3. Actually, no, 2. Sorry, you don't have to use them both, and they're absolutely optional. They will possibly add a little bit more conditioning to the nail, but they're not going to, again, regrow anything or to cause any miracles. So these would be the Isden pen, and it's just painted on the nail daily, or you can do it twice a day as well. And it's safe for skin contact, so if you touch the skin, it's perfectly fine. That's why I feel very comfortable recommending it. And also what I would recommend is Lazo nail. So Lazo nail is a very interesting product that is silicone based and it has walnut extract. It's an interesting product, and I used it and it did something to my nails for sure. And it was very nice for the skin around my nails as well. So I would definitely recommend it. I'll leave the link below as well. This one also comes with a little brush. So you just brush on, you shake it actually really well first. You wait for that little bit brownish gel to come out, and then you just dab it on each nail and just you rub it in. Recently, I have been a little bit more careful with recommending the OPI repair mode because I've been hearing some reports that for some people it caused the nails to separate from the nail bed. So personally, I haven't experienced that, but it's better to be safe than sorry. Why would that happen? Well, I have no idea, but my guess is that the OPI repair mode is designed to be applied on the nail and is not supposed to be applied on the skin. So when people sometimes maybe have such damaged nails that barely they have any nails, maybe the product absorbs into the nail plate too far. Maybe, I guess it just maybe makes a contact with the nail bed underneath, and somehow the skin doesn't like it and kind of rejects the nail that it's soaked in that product. I have no idea, but what I'm just saying is that just be very careful. That product, it's still okay. I still use it for people that have very superficial surface damage. So I see that the nail plate is still intact. It's just a little dry looking. So the nails usually are not dry. The dryness is a sign of very superficial, usually, surface damage. So for that, yes, the OPI repair mode I would recommend. For the other damaged nails, I wouldn't recommend it. So I hope that was helpful. And if you like this video, please give it a like and leave a comment below if you found the video helpful. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.